Hi guys! So I haven't done this in like literally the longest time ever, but I got the opportunity to come to LA and hang out in, for one of the coolest salons ever. It's Salon Collective. And to get to hang out with one of the most amazing people ever. And so I decided to bring back Social Tip Sundays with the one and only Constance Robbins.
Hi guys, I'm so excited. This is like, I feel like I'm on the Ellen show.
My first question would be, if I look at your page and I see like all this beautiful work and mine looks nothing like yours and I feel like I don't have enough followers. Like, how am I ever gonna get there? How do you get started? Like, where do I even start?
Oh gosh, how do you get started? Well, first and foremost, you have to figure out why you want to do social media. Do you want to do it for, if you want to just do it to show off and be like, this is how good I am, like, that's okay. But like, you have to know that, like, that's the reason why you're doing it. So do you want to get more followers because you want them to turn into clients? Do you want to get your name out there because you want to become a more well-known educator?
Yeah.
Do you want to get free stuff from companies? What's the reason? So you have to know, like, basically your why of why you're doing it.
I love it. So like, it's not one size fits all with Instagram. Then do you look at other people's pages to like try to find things like that you like, or how do you figure out like what your format should look like?
I think that's kind of a slippery slope, because I think sometimes like we look at other people's pages and we're just like crippled with like insecurities and perfectionism. Like, oh, I'll never take photos like that person, so I'm just not going to even try. Or I don't want to take a photo with this color backdrop because so-and-so does that and I don't want to be a copycat. So I think it's good to look to other people for inspiration. A lot of times I'll look at someone's photo and be like, okay, how is that model posed? Because she looks really good and I can really see the hair. So I'll try to mimic that. But as far as like the feel and the vibe, it has to reflect you. So if I all of a sudden start posting something with like a hot pink background, you're going to be like, what's going on, right? Like, it doesn't fit like my brand and my aesthetic. So you have to find that on your own, and nobody can tell you what that's going to. So if you look at the people who really have a lot of engagement or a lot of following on social media, they usually have like a formula of what they do. So whether that's like the type of videos that they do, or the type of feel of their photos, or even the type of clients that they post, it really becomes like their signature.
Yeah.
And the more, let's say you're like, oh, I really want to become known for rose golds. Well, if you don't post any rose golds and all you're posting is blue hair, then people are going to know you for being the blue hair expert and not the rose gold expert. So you have to post like what you're trying to attract, because that is going to get you more of those types of people in the door. And let's say I only had one client that had rose gold, just take a bunch of photos of them and post them all the time. People are not going to notice that it's the same person usually, if you can be creative with the way that you're posing them.
Yeah, so it's not like, you're not, like, of course find inspiration. We get inspiration from everywhere, right? Yeah. But it's like, be you is basically the moral of the story. Like, if you're yourself, this is at least what I feel like I'm gathering from you, is like, if we're just who we're supposed to be and who we are, then people will be attracted to that and post for what you want to attract.
I think that's true, like, in every aspect of the matter. So like, if I'm trying to be, let's say I'll use the artist Christopher Benson as an example. He's an incredible artist. He's won Hair Colors of the Year like a million times. He's won like avant-garde, and he does this very like signature type of hair. It's very structured. There's lots of like really vibrant, like pure tones in it. And I can look at his work and be like, wow, he's really talented, he's really amazing.
Yeah.
But that's not the type of hair I do. I do like really long and like organic, like flowy hair. I don't do structured haircuts.
Yeah.
So if I tried to be the next Christopher Benson, I'm going to be a really crappy version of Christopher Benson. Because what's that like analogy? Like, if you're like running a race and you keep looking back at the people in the other lane, then it's going to slow you down, right? So if you just go and stay in your own lane, and you will go in the path that you're supposed to be in, and run at the pace that you're supposed to be running at.
That's like putting that in my pocket. Someone's probably said that to me before, but like, you just made it click.
Yeah.
Like, don't look back. Like, it's about you and your path, and like, stay the course.
Yeah. And you never want to be compared. You don't want to be like, oh, she's like the, like the lesser version of this artist. You never want to be that. You want to be like the first-rate version of yourself.
So a question that like I get a lot of times when I'm teaching classes and stuff, and I think everyone has different views on it. What's the deal with personal posts? Like, if I have a professional page, like, how personal should I be? Like, can I post personal pictures? And what is that? What's your opinion on that?
Well, the way I look at it is like, what do you like to see? You know, if you're scrolling through your Instagram, what makes you stop on a photo? Is it the back of someone's head? You know, and the caption is like, she loves her balayage with like a peace sign, you know? Like,
so true.
You're like, oh, I'm so inspired by this, right? Or is it like a cute photo of like your friends, like, you know, smiling or laughing, or maybe like a video of them doing something, or someone being posed in a way that you haven't seen, or something just like really out of the box. Like what's going to make you stop scrolling? Like that is what you should focus on posting. And I think personal has a lot to do with that, because back in the day, like when I first started posting a lot on Instagram, nobody wanted to see anything personal. Like, I don't want to see a selfie of you. I don't want to see you like doing anything. Like, just show me hair. You know, I don't care about your life that way. And people are looking for more of a connection. They're looking for that human interaction. And I know
because social takes you so can take you so far away from that. So like
it can, and I've heard the complaint so many times, like, I don't like social media because I just go into restaurants, I see everybody is just like this, you know, the whole time. And, you know, it is true. We're so like in tune with our screens that we're looking for that human connection, even if it's not in person. Sometimes we're looking at it digitally. But I think it's more about, because I think, you know, healthy boundaries, that's a whole another video about how to balance personal life and using social and stuff like that. But I think that, you know, people making that connection and really knowing the human side of you, and coming from an admitted perfectionist and someone who's actively working on like letting that part go of myself, it is scary to put yourself out there, and it is scary to start talking about personal stuff. But that's what really people connect with, is like some of my biggest engagement posts have been when I'm just like raw, and like when I was talking about building the salon and like how hard it was, and like the times I've cried in Home Depot because I was so frustrated and tired, and I didn't know what to do, and I was like, am I making a mistake? You know, and I was just real with people. And I think, you know, people have all felt a version of that. And I think sharing personal stuff is so important, because
and I think when people relate, like when people can relate to you, then like sometimes it's that personal post that actually attracts someone new to your page, and then they find and like see all of your work. And I find that everyone always is like, oh, the personal gets all the engagement, but yet I also feel like it drives up the engagement on your hair posts as well, because it's bringing people to you and like who you are. There's a ton of talented hairdressers out there, but like when you know someone, like I love that you cried in Home Depot, because I cry over like shit all the time, you know? So it's like, I don't know, I just feel like having those pieces makes Constance Robbins like feel like someone that I can connect with. So I love that piece of it.
And that's what social media is all about, is just connecting. And it's like, I think we've lost some of the social media. You know, there's a difference between broadcasting and sharing. And broadcasting is you being like, I think Olivia Smalley was talking about this on her podcast actually, which is fantastic. You guys should listen to it. But she's talking about, if I'm just broadcasting, like, look at the great hair I can do, look at this awesome balayage, look at this redhead, look at this whatever. And then there's a difference of sharing, of like telling people what's going on and making that connection and being social. And I think being, you know, connecting with the audience is the only way of doing that, as opposed to just being like, she loves her balayage, you know? So I think personal is imperative now. It's very, very important to be sharing. And if you don't know where to start, like if you're like, oh, I can never post something as vulnerable as like crying in a Home Depot or, you know, whatever, or like my life story, just start with 5 facts about you. So just be like, hey guys, like I haven't done this in a while, or I've never properly introduced myself. My name is Constance Robbins, and here's 5 things that you may not know about me. And they could be silly, they could be serious, they could be whatever. Like one of my 5 facts that I shared one time was that like literally my favorite food on the planet is cereal, and I could have cereal for like breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack. I could have it at the movie theater, like instead of popcorn. Like I love cereal. And, you know, it's something as silly as that, but like if you were like, oh my gosh, Cinnamon Toast Crunch is life, then like you and I could now connect on a different level.
Thing. Yeah. No, I love it. Yeah. And I feel like the gist of it all from you is like, it's about finding who you are, like what your brand is, what it is that you're trying to attract through social media. Yeah. And then honestly, like just being really authentic with who you are. I think one of the things that you always say to me is like, be you, find a place to start, but then also it's just like be consistent. Like if you're really trying to grow, right? Like, and So you've told me before that I need to be consistent, but then there's like 2 weeks where I forget to post and like I get tired and life gets in the way. So like, what do I do? Give up or?
Yeah, just give up entirely. Delete your account. No, I mean that's normal. You know, like I think as of right now, like I think I haven't posted in probably like 5 days because for me it's about quality over quantity, and I would rather post something that's really bringing value to someone that's watching it or viewing it rather than just spewing out for the sake of, oh, I have to post today at 5 o'clock. Like that's what the algorithm says. It's not really about that anymore. It's really about providing value. But also on the other hand, you can't post like one thing and then 2 months later post something else and then 3 months later post something else. Like you're going to get so lost in people's feeds and people are just never going to see your stuff. And my advice too is that like if you're not posting on your feed, keep your stories active. So always make sure that your story has something up, because then you're going to stay right at the top of people's their home screen. A lot of people don't even go through the feed anymore. They mostly use stories. And another tip for that.
That's so true. I didn't even process that that's what I do all the time.
Yeah, and a great way to stay at the top of everyone's stories, like to be the first one there, is to go live. Because you notice that even if someone has a live up, they're not even currently live, that live stays at the beginning of everyone's stories for 24 hours. And so just even if you're not in their feed all the time, just stay using the platform, and that will help the algorithm in your favor as well.
Yeah, Instagram likes people that like Instagram.
Yeah, exactly.
The more you're in there, the more they want to make you popular. It's so true. Yeah. I like to end every one of these little videos with this. And if you had one piece of advice that you would give to the masses, working Instagram, what would that be? Mm-hmm.
I think something that's so important with social media is just consistency. And again, the consistency could be once a week. It could be once every 3 days or whatever. Because the way I look at it is that if I eat one salad, it's like, like summer's coming, you're like, I eat one salad and you go like weigh yourself and you're like, am I skinny yet? Am I my goal weight yet? Or you do like one workout and then you go like look in the mirror and take an after, and you're like, okay, like am I beach ready yet? And you're like, no, like it's an everyday thing. Like it's a consistent thing. Like you have to make it a practice. It has to be a habit. So even if like, just like if you were to have a salad every other day and work out every other day, like will you get to your summer goals? Like maybe, but it might take you a little bit longer. But if you're consistent and do those good workouts and eat really healthy every day, then you're going to get there faster. And it's the same with social media. And I know it's such a silly analogy, but if you're posting great content every day, you're going to get your goals much quicker and build an audience much quicker than if you were to do it maybe every other day or once a week. I think that there's like this perception that like if you have a lot of followers on social media, like you're always on your phone. But if you look at anybody who has like a huge following, like I know we had like Lisa Loves Balayage over here like the last 2 days. Like, did you ever see her on her phone? Like,
no.
Have you seen me on my phone? No. Not a whole lot. And even like my stylist in my salon, I'm like, how often do you see me on my phone? And they're like, actually like almost never. And you basically build up this habit of setting up your posts and setting up things beforehand and writing things out and prepping, just like you were to prep for like a class, or you were to prep for Thanksgiving meal or whatever. You don't do it all at the same time. You kind of set yourself up and do it in bite-sized chunks, and that way it's a lot less overwhelming for you.
Yeah, no, I love it. I think so that you heard it here, right? The key is consistency, and it's not if you fall off the wagon, it's okay, just get back on, because listen, I do it like I feel like every other month, sometimes every other week. So, but just keep doing it and keep trying, and you'll grow. Like we all started. So Constance, there was a time where she didn't have nearly as many followers as she does now. So I just appreciate you so much and sharing little secrets with us. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I don't know, I'm so excited. I hope I get to see you somewhere soon. And you know what? You know where I will see you? And where everyone can see you is Destination.
Yes. I'm teaching a social media class at Destination, which I'm so excited about. And I'm also teaching a photography class. So if you're ever struggling with how to take a really great hair photo, I will be doing that. And then you can catch me on the main stage doing some hair with some badass women, which I'm really honored to be a part of. But until then, you can find me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is @Constance Robbins. And if you're watching this, make sure that you take a screenshot of the video, hopefully one where Alex and I both look very cute, and then tag us on Instagram and let us know that you watched it.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thanks so much.
Yay.
Give me a hug. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for hanging out.